Due to an unexpected inventory constraint, your Samsung.com order has been delayed to 8/21. We are sorry about this disappointment, and we will update the order pages soon. So this is an email I just got about a couple of days ago, even though today is a launch day, but I was able to luckily snag a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 today for you guys. And I'm probably going to go ahead and cancel that order. That's the cream color. This one's going to be the graphite. So let's go ahead and unbox this and give you my first honest raw impressions. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And the minute you see this box, you can already see that this is going to be a wide boy. You can see the box just the way it's shaped. It's not shaped up like this. And you can see we do have Z Fold 8 dual camera. Now, one of the things about the Z Fold 8 is that because this is going to be the cheaper version, even though this is the more fun factor, this is the more newer experience, it's going to have a lesser camera than the Ultra. You'll see on the back here, Z Fold 8 package contains Z Fold 8, USB-C to cable, and a couple of warranty guides. They don't really list specs or anything like that anymore on these boxes. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what it looks like. And let's go ahead and pull this out. And you'll see right there, there is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 in all its glory. So first thing I'm going to say right off the bat is that the phone is giving me very Z Fold 7 like vibes in terms of the premium feel, the thin factor, but now in a much different form factor that when you close it should be quite a bit better. So let's go ahead and peel off this tab here, see how it sounds. Definitely nice. And I definitely can see why people are pretty excited about this form factor. This definitely, on first impressions, to me is feeling a little bit more tablety like. Let's go ahead and see if we got any charge on here. Sometimes this first boot can take a second. And there it goes. Definitely giving like a little more of a little mini tablet kind of experience versus that like two phone side to side type experience you would see on the Z Fold 7, the Z Fold 8 Ultra. And let's go ahead and peel that off. And you could see a nice short passport form factor. Now, last time I've seen this form factor was on the Pixel Fold, the OG one, but this is even better because it's shorter. So the Pixel Fold still has a little bit of a reach, and also because Samsung's been engineering folds for a long time, they have a lot more refinement when it comes to lightness, build, things like this. So, you know, this is definitely, this feels more like a first generation type passport. This feels more like even though it's the first time they did this size form factor, they already carried over their expertise in the other areas and is giving you kind of this already kind of like feeling refined version of it. So I can see why the pre-orders are doing pretty strong right now. And some of the remaining things in the box, just a SIM card tool, a warranty guide, a couple of cables, looks exactly like the other Z Folds that you can buy, the Z Fold 7, the Z Fold 8 Ultra. Similar box setup, black, clean. It's just a very premium experience there. Now, we're going to go ahead and skip the Google sign-in for just this unboxing video. We'll do this up later. But what I'm already noticing is having this like wider form factor, honestly, on the front should make this easier to type with, and also should give this just a little bit more of a spacious feel when you're reading and doing things like that. Although, again, it does feel a little bit like shorter, but at the same time, it's giving you more space here on the front than you'll get on a skinnier phone. And a lot of people complained a lot about phones, a lot of foldables just being too narrow on the front. This solves that problem. However, again, and should make it a lot easier to go ahead and get up to the top there. So let's go ahead and leave it on the light mode for the video, and I'll tell you take care of your phone. Basically the same warnings they've put on all the other previous folding devices, such as don't put this phone near, with card, keys, coins. They're basically telling you that this is not like a regular standard smartphone. You do have to do a certain few things to keep this phone safe. Now you'll see right there, you're all set up. And let's go to the home screen. So you can see there's a Z Fold 8 right there. This is probably not the first time you've seen it, but the first time you've seen it on this channel. And you'll see that the apps, the way they're spread out, is definitely more wide. And what's cool about this is it feels like such a new experience because all the other folds that came before it definitely look different. And this is kind of like what I expect from Samsung. Different, new, innovative things. Like I like this a lot. And I think a lot of people will as well. Now, when you are going inside of here, One of the things I think is going to be really nice about this form factor is having that split screen view, just things to be a lot wider and a lot easier to see. As you can see right there, instead of being like super narrow, you got a lot more space here, and it doesn't feel like they're all crammed in a corner like that, like they like they're gonna feel in the previous version. So you could already see multitasking right there is going to be very fun on this phone. Let's go ahead and see how much storage we got out of the box. One of the things I don't love about the Samsung Galaxy Folds this year is it's not really their fault, but the storage, you're starting at a lower storage tier. Even at $18.99, you're paying for the hardware, but the storage, man, you're only getting 256 gigs. So you do have to have some cloud backup or some way to back up your storage if you're a hefty, storing a lot of stuff on your folding device. So do keep that in mind. This does take about 31 gigs, 31.8 right out of the box. And this launches with Android 17, One UI 9. So do keep that in mind. You do have the latest version. I'm trying to do the gestures, but I forgot that stock out of the box, it comes with these things right here, these little buttons, and we'll go ahead and scroll through. Everything pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the brightness. Yeah, this could definitely get very bright, just like other folding phones out there. Man, those little bubbles there for the brightness slider and the volume slider are they're very large. Let's just put it that way. Kind of feels a little bit like things are just smushed down a little bit to give you that more portable form factor. But the initial fold feels very solid. And let's take a look and see if we see any type of crease action. And man, you can barely see anything. This looks pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and look on the side. Of course, this is the initial unboxing, so over time, that crease is going to show a little bit more. But I think because it's more wide, it's easier to spread it out where it's nearly invincible. So I do think a lot of people are going to enjoy this form factor, upcoming iPhone Ultra Fold phone that's coming out as well, just because with these form factors, these creases are a little bit less visible. And because the tech has advanced, they're a little bit less visible. Now let's go ahead and see what wallpapers we do get with this phone. I like to check that on every first phone that I get. And just as usual, Samsung just throwing in one pack of wallpapers, and you can kind of change the colors and variations between them. Let's go ahead and see the variations right there. And then we'll go ahead and go back, and you'll see you do have this little dog. For example, you get the dynamic. You'll be able to create with AI, but down here, same stuff you'll find on all the other Samsung phones. So still not a ton of wallpaper action, but it's not the biggest deal. You could just download wallpapers infinitely depending on what you want to do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this form factor, see how it looks here. And it looks, honestly, it's got a very tall look in this area. Like if you turn it this way, kind of looks a lot like when you take a monitor, like you'll be typing at your desktop monitor and you turn it in a vertical orientation. Kind of looks like that quite a bit. So this is a pretty nice overall layout as well. Let's go ahead and see, hold on. Let's go ahead and see how the split screen multitasking looks in this form. It'll probably look a little bit closer to the previous version when you put it in this form. Yeah. So you could see in this form, it looks almost the same as kind of how the split screen looks on the regular Z Fold 8 Ultra or the Z Fold 7, if you will. It kind of looks similar to that. But if you turn it this way, a lot more width. So you kind of see why this one does seem to be a bit more popular right now, even though it's a little bit smaller at 7.6 inches on the inside and a little bit shorter on the outside. It's just maybe a little bit more of a fun experience to use, and possibly, I wouldn't say more productive. They're both going to be pretty productive, but it just depends on how you use it. But this just seems like something that you could just throw in the pocket a little bit lighter and stuff. So I do tend to like that. Now, when looking at the camera, you'll see it does stick off the body just a bit, just like you'll find on the Galaxy S26 Ultra right here. You also find that we do have ourselves the fingerprint embedded within the power button there. We do have a volume rocker. On the left, it will say Samsung right there, and it's pretty thin and smooth right there. At the bottom, the USB-C port just barely fits in there. So nice engineering, and it's pretty centered, so that's pretty good. You do have a speaker there, speaker right here, and still SIM card tray. This is not that only eSIM business right here. Generally, I'm honestly just feeling like this feels like a product that they've made a couple of times already, and that's because of their expertise in the other folding areas. So it's really nice to see a new form factor with the skills and things that they've carried over, because it doesn't feel like a first generation product, similar to what we felt with the Passport style OG Pixel Fold. So I do love this, and I do think I do think I could recommend it already if you do want to try a Passport folding phone. It's definitely probably one of the most exciting phones we've tried this year. So first impressions on the weight of this phone. This is 201 grams, so pretty light, almost under 200 grams, not quite, but pretty light. IP48 dust and water resistance, so this thing is definitely gonna be one you gotta watch out for that. But 3000 nits of brightness is capable on here, so that is pretty nice stuff to say the least. 5.5 inch screen on the front, so giving you a very portable phone for just daily use, but giving you that big inner screen. So I could already see how easy this thing's gonna be with one hand. There's not a lot of phones these days that are super easy to one hand, so that is exciting for sure. We could have probably seen these type of folding phones in the past, but it just took till now for them to come, and that's just what it is. Let's go ahead and hit the camera right here, and you'll go ahead and click photo right there, and that's 50 megapixels. And then if we go ahead and back it out wide, we also do have a 50 megapixel ultra wide as well. Not quite the 200 on the Fold 8 Ultra, but honestly, I think for like what people are buying this phone for, I think it's still more than enough camera for sure. 8K capable video recording right there. You could still do log recording, so it's not no weak camera. On the front here, you'll get the 10 megapixel. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Let's hit video photo. Yeah, you can get the 10 megapixel. And of course, you'll be able to do capture view. You'll be able to use the front camera to take photos or the rear camera to take photos, just like the other folds. So this is just exciting to see this new form factor, but still giving you a decent camera setup. Also on that inner screen right there, you do get a 10 megapixel right there as well. So that's not too shabby either. Bluetooth 6.0 is on board, Wi-Fi 7, fingerprint sensor side mounted, Samsung DeX available, 4800 milliamps, so not quite as big as the Ultra, but still, it's a pretty sizable battery for the size of this shorter folding phone right here. All right, so the hype is kind of already like slowed a little bit, but this is my first raw impressions here, and I gotta say, after just a little quick look here in this video, I can see why this phone has been pretty hyped, why it's selling very well. I think a lot of times people will always buy something when it's like kind of a new design just to try it out. So I think that's a part of it. But I don't think it replaces the other style. What I think it does is offer you a different variation, a different style if you don't like that other style of folding phone. And I think a lot of people might prefer this because the other fold is just too tall. It's too tall and skinny for a lot of people. And this to me is just a lot easier, I think, to just carry about. And then when you do need that extra interior display, it could be better. So this feels more like a phone for the consumers, a foldable for the consumers, and the Ultra feels like more of a folding phone for the tech enthusiasts, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm feeling here overall. But I think this is going to be a great success. I think it's going to stick around. I also think it's going to get better on the next version, and I think Samsung will probably make a few more as next go around when they make another one of these, maybe the Z Fold 9 or whatever. They'll probably make a better camera system. I would like to see a triple camera on the next one. I think that would be nice. That would be a little bit nicer than this right here. Maybe a better front-facing camera, but looking pretty good overall. I mean, we have that Snapdragon 8 Elite in here, 8 Elite Gen 5, 12 gigs of RAM, so pretty good. So that's my first honest impressions of this phone. I will be doing some more videos with this against the S26 Ultra. I'll be doing some more reviews on this, maybe even compare it to the upcoming iPhone Fold when it comes out, so stay tuned for that. And also I plan to speed test this with the iPhone to see how this thing performs overall. So stay tuned for that. Let me know your thoughts on the Z Fold 8. Are you planning on getting one? Are you planning on not getting one? Are you just waiting out to see what Apple brings? Are you excited? Are you not? I'm interested to hear what you think about these all new Passport styles that seem to be all the rage here in this coming into the later part of 2026. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for your support watching the channel, and thank you for being patient as well. We don't get these phones always sent. I got to go out and get these myself, and I really appreciate you still sticking around, even though it might come a week or two after the initial launch. So thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.